Afternoon, party people. Another episode of Slab City Stories. Today I'm going to talk about Parrot Jeff and his underwater home. He didn't mean it to be underwater. That's just how it worked out. It's back in 2012. I believe this was in 2012. We had a guy here named Parrot Jeff. Why? He had a parrot. His name was Jeff. He drove a forest green Mercedes-Benz station wagon. I couldn't tell you if it was an old car or a new car. You know, Mercedes and BMW, they barely change their body lines. They go a decade with not altering them, so you can't tell. I imagine it was old, but well maintained. On the outside, he lived in the car. You could tell. You could tell a human and a bird lived in this Mercedes. Nice tan leather interior. Anyway, let me get to the story. Parrot Jeff moves to Slab City and says, I'm going underground. You guys are fools. Living in trailers, building shade. Underground's where it's at. Now, I don't disagree with him. It's underground home would be cooler, but so Parrot Jeff, he hires a bunch of traveling kids out here to help him dig this hole, and he digs himself a hole. It's a nice hole. It's a very elaborate hole, and it's going to be his home. Now here, party people, the sand is 2 or 3 feet, and after that it's a hard clay. You got to pick at it and dig and pick at it and dig and pick and pick and pick and dig. They did it. When I was down in there, I'm 6'3", and I would say this hole was at least 9 feet deep. It's surprisingly level on the sides and the floor. I would say it was about 12 feet across, 15 feet. Then it had a little alcove, a little 4x8 foot section. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but here comes a military helicopter over my camp. Anyway, he gets this hole dug. He's got his solar panels up top. He's got everything down inside. It's his home, right? He's going to sandbag around it. I think he's going to post a beam and put a metal top over the roof. And he didn't get that far. What's up, doggies? My doggies just showed up. So he's got this hole. You know, he's got his batteries down there, charge controller, power inverter, his tools, his furniture, his clothing, everything he owns. It's his home. I'm going to talk about his bird, but that's another story. His bird had a big vocabulary, and yeah. So Jeff has this hole. Parrot Jeff's got himself a hole. It's going to be his home. And then, one beautiful spring day. Yeah, it was a little humid out in the air, but overall it was a nice day, you know. And everybody's phones started flashing. Flash flood warning. got a flash flood coming, right? So, yeah, it was a major flash flood. Washed out the canal road down by the library, down by my camp, washed out Beale Road in 2 places, shut down Salvation Mountain. It was a big flash flood. I was out running around with no shirt on like a fool, because it was literally up 120 degrees before this flash flood happened, so I enjoyed the water. So while I'm out running around, I think about Jeff. I'm like, oh yeah, and Jeff's underground home. So I take off running over there, party people, and yeah, Jeff had a swimming pool. He's sitting in his Mercedes with his bird. There was a break in the rain. It came in 2 waves. It came and stopped, and when it stopped, I ran over there and looked, and I was already soaked to the bone, so I went down in there, and the water was up to my chest, and I'm 6'3", so it's pretty deep. Pretty much lost all his stuff. He left Slab City shortly after that. He stunk around for a little while. But if you're going to go underground in Slab City, party people, keep in mind that we do have flash floods. Since that flash flood, and that was in 2012, I believe it was in March, it's about every 4 years we have one, because we've had a couple more since I've been out here. So, Parrot Jeff and his underground home turned into a swimming pool with all his possessions at the bottom of it. His bird was ridiculous. This bird had a big vocabulary, and he taught it all kinds of sarcastic things to say. I could even make a whole video about conversations I had with this bird. Matter of fact, I think I will. I'll save those stories. Alright, party people, there's a story of Parrot Jeff and his underground home, or his underwater home, underwater in the desert. Yeah, 2 things can happen when you dig a hole out here. It could fill up with water, or a rattlesnake could go down in there, because it's nice and cool. So you could have some company. Be careful. As always, party people, stay hydrated. Coming to you from my backyard, the Cat Ranch, in this thriving metropolis that we call Slab City, just above Mexico. Be safe. Bye-bye.